Turning left out of the facility is almost impossible to do safely now. The height of the buildings, 5 stories, 62 feet, is not compatible with the other structures in the neighborhood. It doesn't fit the character of our area. Thank you. Yes, about what time?
What time was the studies done for?
So the traffic impact analysis, there's a lot of requirements for traffic impact analysis, and this one was done for the PM peak. So that's the evening 1 hour period determined to be the maximum period in the afternoon. There's also an AM peak, as everyone here undoubtedly knows about the AM peak, and it's fairly intense. And yet the city's traffic engineer, in his judgment, waived the requirement to do the AM peak and said it wasn't necessary. So there are a lot of reasons why that was, wasn't done. I mean, it should have been done. One of the things is that the applicant's traffic engineer said that the 14,000 square feet of commercial space will generate no traffic trips in the AM peak period.
Their traffic.
So, 14,000 square feet and not a single trip will be generated because their traffic engineer waved his hands and said none of these trips from the commercial use will coincide with the AM peak period.
Evan, do you have
a date on when that was
Yes.
done?
What month?
Do you have a date of when that was done, the traffic analysis?
Well, it's part of the it's the main part of the application that they've submitted. So it's a 170-page traffic report. That has
I'm just
lots of
wondering if
analysis things.
school was, when it was done, if it was done during the holiday.
Can you get in line with those questions?
Got like 2 minutes.
What exact date?
2 months ago.
If it's invited, she'll comment later. Next, we have to listen to the next person to give a report.
My name is James Brock, and I've lived in the area there for 50 years now. And I'm kind of discouraged the fact that they've gone to an engineer for the traffic study.
Can't hear you, I can't hear you.
They've gone to use. Let me back up on this. The land use code is intended to effectively and efficiently implement. This is the code right here. Number 4, increase density of new housing development while maintaining the character and livability of individual neighborhoods. That's what it says, folks. But you're not doing it. You do something about livability. As an example. My papers right here. Thank you. That's why it takes so long here. Well, I did some research on this, and in the city of Eugene, does anybody know, other than 6th Street, 8th Street, Franklin Boulevard, what area of town has the most traffic? There's not one place in this whole study done by the city of Eugene that has more traffic than in front of this building. It's 22,300 people. The only people ahead of that is along Franklin Boulevard. Did you know that? It's your study.
Oops.
The city of Eugene, 2013 traffic flow map. Okay.
But that sounds right.
But Hilliard has,
That's correct.
in a day they have 23,000 people. 29th Willamette is 15,000. 30th and Hilliard is 18,000. City View 18th is 20,000, and Franklin Boulevard is 33,000. That's the most traffic in any place in Eugene.
What is it at 30th, you said?
30th and Hilliard, that's 30th going down, going to the west, it's 18,100 people in a day. That's, I'll do my research on this. The last thing, I got more of them, I'm going to make it quick. Regarding livability, I'm an engineer, and I took a look at this building. Did you know today, at sunrise this morning, that the sun we're gonna go across the street, 159 foot into the park. That's our park. And we're allowing solar shading if they put a 62-foot building there. I'm good at math. That's the truth. If that's a 62-foot building, if they dropped it to 40 foot, there's no shading whatsoever. How about that?
My name's Craig Starr. I live off of Fox Hollow, East 46th, my wife and I. Came here to get information, to learn facts about the development, because my friends know I'm not reluctant to express opinions, but I do like them to be fact-based. I've heard a lot of discussion about legitimate issues and concerns. We ought to be talking about traffic impact. We ought to be talking about aesthetics and how it would affect the livability of the neighborhood. But I'm also hearing a lot of conclusions, and I'm not sure what they're based on. So I was hoping that you would, I've got actually a couple of questions I'd like to address. One is, what did the traffic study say? And then you started off the meeting dropping a very provocative comment, which you've since elaborated on after I got to the queue. So I'm understanding a little bit about your objections to it and what you think they should do more. But maybe you could address, if they did study south and west, what that would add to the picture, and why we should worry about it. I come from the south, and I travel that all the time. And yeah, it's congested, but you know, it's nothing like what I came from when I lived in the Bay Area 22 years ago. So the other thing is, what discussions have been had? This is McLaughlin is the developer, right? Mike McLaughlin?
Yeah.
Mike Coughlin.
Could you spell
Um,
C-O-U-G-H-O-N.
Yeah, I think you pronounce it Coughlin. Anyhow, what discussions have been had with him about compromising on the design, and has he expressed a position on it? Is he open to discussing 3 versus 5? I know he's going to do calculations. It's going to be an economic tipping point for him, whether this makes sense if he cuts down the size or the number of units. But you know, I don't know what his position is. I don't want to make any assumptions about how willing he is to compromise.
I did have a discussion with the developer, and he said he had considered at one point doing a commercial with 2 stories, though because of the economic risk, basically, in a $24 million project, which is right now. So, 2-story over commercial would eliminate underground parking, which is a huge expense. It would also look a little bit more like a strip mall, in his opinion, and it would take away the public corner on the 32nd and Hilliard. So he has considered it. I'm not sure why he's gone ahead with a 5-story, except that he has an idea to do really high-scale project.
I'd like to add to that too, having talked to him. So originally the thought was a car wash in that area. Then it was a strip mall with a couple walk-up apartments. So there'd be a total of 30 units. And then there was this other project, which is considerably larger. My understanding is that the developer was wanting to bring something to the community that the community could use. So it'll have 14,000 square feet of retail.
But the community is telling them that they support it.
So what I'm trying to say is, so the design is 5 stories with multi-use retail on the bottom, and we might get like a liberty tax if we'd had 2 stories. We'll probably get a pretty good restaurant and some retail by having more units. So that's the understanding.
Do you want a question?
Well, yeah, I'd like tell us about the traffic study.
Okay, we supposed to stop at 8:30, and I see there are 4 or 5 more people in the queue, so we should.
Can we time speakers, please? Because some folks are taking up to 10 minutes. We were told it's 2 minutes per speaker. Can we, so that everybody has a
Well,
chance to speak?
it's hard to tell because there were answers coming from both of these people, so.
Well, can we time the
Let's keep going, okay?
So your question is, what is the traffic impact analysis say? And as I mentioned before, I did not staff this project, so I admittedly have not read the traffic impact analysis. We had other staff who were responsible for doing that. We had a couple of planners who reviewed it. We also had one of our engineers who provided the bulk of the comments. And so I don't feel like I'm in a position to be able to answer your particular question. But Evan, I know, has more background on it, honestly, and so I'm gonna pass the mic to him.
Okay, thank you. So, you know, as I mentioned, the traffic impact analysis was fairly limited, and basically what the engineer has standard formulas for how many trips this will generate, and they're only looking at the peak hour in this case, and only in the afternoon peak hour. So basically they're projecting that I think 70% of them go north and 30% go south, and that's basically it. So in terms of going north, they just go north on Hilliard. In terms of going south, they just go south on Hilliard. But the problem is, as almost everyone knows, that this is a very congested area, right? It's critically congested, and it's especially critically congested in the morning. So essentially, almost all of South Eugene relies on two routes. You've got Hilliard, and you've got Willamette, right? And that's it. And if Willamette is crowded, then you got to go over to Hilliard. And if Hilliard's crowded, you go to Willamette. If they're both crowded,
30th Avenue, Amazon Parkway.
Amazon Parkway, it can serve a certain role, but it's fairly limited in terms of its capabilities, where it goes. We'll talk about it later, Heather. At any rate, you have two main arteries, as everyone knows, for South Eugene to access the rest of the city. And Willamette has some issues and has a lot of development potential. This area already is very crowded, especially in the morning. Very congested intersection at 33rd and Hilliard, okay, where West Amazon, East Amazon, and Hilliard all converge to go up Hilliard. So this development, no analysis on that intersection is included, even though it's 1 block away. Okay, it's 1 block away, and yet no analysis of that intersection is included. The city says, oh, we don't have to include it because we're not aware of any problems there. So why would they not be aware of any problems there? Because they have not done any studies.